About 1 month ago, 7 incredible West Michigan women were honored at the YWCA Tribute Awards.
These women have vision, leadership. They've moved this community forward in so many ways.
So over the next week, we're introducing you to each of these women, but first we wanted to introduce you to Kelly Langen with the YWCA to talk about the importance of this award and the women behind it. Now, the Tribute Award has been around for a while. Can you just explain how it came about and what it means to receive it?
Sure. Well, the YW about 30 years ago, so over 3 decades ago, was really focused on trying to create a venue where we could talk about the achievements of women. We really wanted to make sure that the community understood the role, the importance of what was happening and what women were doing to make that happen. And so over the years, it's really evolved. And this year, we had 700 people, over $90,000 in sponsorships raised, wonderful partners, Fifth Third Bank, Steelcase, Blue Cross Blue Shield, just fabulous.
And you know, it is amazing when you look back and you think of the women who have been honored in the past. I mean, these women in so many ways have helped shape our community into what it is today.
Yeah, I would completely agree. It's an extraordinary sorority. There's almost 200 women now that the YW has been able to recognize and really shine a spotlight on some really unsung heroes.
Yeah, I've sat on the committee to help decide the tribute winners in the past, and I know it's always a difficult decision every year. You have categories that people win the Tribute Award in. What are the different areas in which you honor, and how many women are honored each year?
Well, there are 7 honorees. There's a student honoree, advocacy, really looking at people who are taking initiative, moving it forward, arts, business, community service, like the honoree you'll talk to today, professions, and sports, fitness, and wellness for people who are really helping us just live healthier lives.
Well, we were really happy to be at the award luncheon this year, and Rachel and I were so moved to see the stories, the visual tributes to these women. And really, what moved me the most was the fact that their stories showcasing these women and what they are doing. It inspires me to think about, boy, what could I be doing? How could I be making a difference, a bigger difference?
Yeah.
Is that the idea?
It is. It is. It's really to give the people who are attending in our larger community opportunity to say, this is possible. These are women just like you who are doing some really extraordinary things. They're just following their passion, the things that mean the most to them, and making the community a better place.
Yeah. Okay. So why don't we introduce you to our first Tribute Award winner. Her name is Linda Patterson.
I've always loved people. When I was very little, you know how little girls want to be nurses or teachers. Well, I did too. I wanted to do what I could to help. And almost all of the volunteer activities that I do are with people. As a young woman, I began to understand that I had been very fortunate in my life. I was born into a family of loving parents. I lived in a safe neighborhood. I had a strong education, and those are all things that I didn't deserve. I didn't do anything. It didn't come to me from an accomplishment of mine. And so you become grateful for the gifts that you've received, I think. And when you realize that there are people who don't have those advantages or who may face more challenges in their life, I think you just in part of feeling grateful, I think you want to reach out and help them to just to have it a little bit easier than their circumstances have provided for. When I lost my parents, a few years afterward, and I would look back and I would say, you know, I never thanked them for this, or I never showed appreciation for that. And in that sense, I think it has shaped a bit how I view the world, in that I'm now very quick to thank people and show my appreciation.
Now,
I don't think I ever really think about my volunteer work. I think I just respond to it. I'm not that deliberate. I think, like I said in the very beginning, when you really like people, you are invested in the moment, more than contemplating kind of what you're going to do if this happens or that happens. I really enjoy more just doing what seems to be needed and living in the moment with it. I don't think that you can live in our world today without taking away an enormous appreciation for the good in your life. Because in the media and in our own experiences, we're exposed to people who have way more challenges in their daily living, perhaps, than we might. So there's an enormous kind of gratitude, I think, that volunteer work gives to you. It truly does give you a sense of fulfillment that goes way beyond any kind of energy that you put into it.
And we are so honored here to have Linda Patterson here with us today in our studio, just celebrating your accomplishments and talking about the difference that you have made. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah,
thank you.
We were just talking during the piece, and you were telling us there have been so many different stories that over the years that you've been able to tell and experience. Are there some that stick out more than others?
I think probably the one that sticks out the most is of a child that I met the first day that I worked at the hospital. And he was probably about 5 months old, and his skin was not attached to his body, so that every time he moved, he got sort of like a bed sore. And most of those children who had that condition lived for maybe 5 months, and he lived at the hospital for 8 years. They gave him such great care, and he had adopted the hospital as his family. The nurses and the doctors there just loved him, and he could feel it, I think. And it's amazing.
So you were a volunteer. Did you have a medical background, or what made you step forward into that place?
An invitation from a friend to become involved with the hospital. I suppose it's like many of the other institutions in our city, whether it's the opera or the ballet or the art museum or the gift shops in the various hospitals. Someone invites you to get involved. And that's how I got involved also.
Well, you never know just how one visit's going to turn into a lifetime of work. But obviously, it touched you. The work that you've done there has really made an impact on your life. How has it changed you as a person?
That's interesting. I think you learn the gratification that giving gives you on a personal level, as well as you begin to understand that it makes a difference in our community. Our community, to me, seems to be such an incredible spot where so many people give, and it really enriches everybody's life, I think, that way. And it's inspiring.
And we have people who watch our show that are all ages and all walks of life, including some maybe young retirees who are looking for a place to get plugged in, or maybe a way to make a difference. What would your words of encouragement to be to someone who maybe feels like, I don't have anything to share?
Oh, there's always something to share. I've never met a person who doesn't have something to share. And I think what you need to do is find what's interesting to you. If it's working with young offenders and trying to get them out of the juvenile system, or if it's working in the health field or the cultural field or the religious faith-based commitment. There are so many nonprofit organizations in our community, and they can all use support. So there's a lot of time, and talent is every bit as important as treasure, I think. And if you make contributions, that's always helpful, financial contribution. But time and talent is also enormously appreciated by our nonprofit sector in this community.
Well, Linda, thank you for everything that you've done. You've truly made a difference in a lot of lives, and the people of Mary Free Bed are better because of it. So.
Well, thank you very much.
That's right, and you're an inspiration to us, too. We walked out of that tribute award that day thinking, how can we help? How can we serve?
Yeah.
You're a role model for a lot of people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.